All right, just to get this at the beginning of the YouTube video as well, for people watching at home, don't assume you know what numbers of things are without looking at the deck list. There are 4 collected companies here. There are 3 Hinterland Harbors. The recent arena interface update made it really bad and hard to see how many of things that you're playing at a glance. Hopefully they fix that soon. This is a build-around submission for Bant Spirits. So, Bant Spirits, the big appeal to green here is Collected Company. So Collected Company is a card that plays out at instant speed, which is good with our other various flash creatures in the deck. This card also generates card advantage for us by putting 2 threats into play quite frequently. This deck is playing notably 35 creatures, so we have a very, very good number of hits with Collected Company. We got a lot of great 3-drops here. I'm electing to play Gilded Goose and Paradise Druid as my mana dorks in this archetype, primarily because they provide color fixing, which I think is important in our 3-color deck. We're a little bit light on all 3 of both green, blue, and white sources in this archetype, if we're being honest, but there just isn't good lands to really add consistent colors like that and still keep our land count kind of low like we want it to be for our low curve deck with mana dorks. Gilded Goose also has flying, which means it gains 1/1 with Empyrean Eagle, which is relevant as well in some spots. Chris, thanks for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Sky Guy 91, thanks for completing the raid tutorial. I appreciate you checking out the sponsor. Drop me a DM and let me know if you'd like a gifted sub or to bump something in the queue. If we hit that 175 goal, I'm going to add a long stream next week as a thank you as well. All right, at any rate, let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here. We've got typical Eagle, Supreme Phantom type stuff. Interested to see if Collected Company and the Mana Dorks feel like they add value to the traditional blue-white spirits archetype. I do know, like, creature decks being able to generate 2-for-1s with Collected Company tends to be very powerful, so I'm interested to see if that feels good here, even without something like Spell Queller to get with the Collected Companies. Sure. All of our colors, 2-drop, 3-drop, sounds good. Our deck doesn't have a lot of 1s in it, so you're not really looking to mulligan to a 1-drop most games. We did multiple of 0. That we did. Coco was the draw for green and Bant, correct. There aren't green spirits. This will be a matchup where we're just looking to go over the top in the most literal sense. We're going to hope to just race them here. Maybe we'll Shacklegeist a couple of things at some point. We'll see. That's a big in. That is actually a pretty great draw here. Opponent answering the age-old question of where's the beef? I think I just let them attack with these Steel Leaf Champions, because if I tap the Gilded Goose, I have lethal next turn, right? This will be 9-13 with the Supreme Phantom. And they can make a food and then eat it and be at exactly 13. So pretty sure we just take 12 here. We get punished by them playing another Goose out, but I think that's a punishment I'm willing to risk. Survey says... This whole being on the play thing seems good. Big agree. Big Big agree. I think this is a Deputy of Detention matchup. It's probably not a Spectral Sailor matchup. Need one more trim here. Welcome. Thanks for the 15 months, Gilger. Priest is symmetrical, so this card is basically here for exclusively the Goblins matchup. Thanks for the 23 months, Zubail. Welcome back. Nebelgast Herald, probably one of our single best cards in this matchup. This card allows us to generate an incredible amount of tempo. No big 3-drop on turn 2 is huge for us. Any sort of control deck is viable in Historic. I have no idea. Asking what control deck is viable without really knowing, like, what the best decks in the format are is, like, a really awkward question to ask, I think. Need to really get a feel for, like, what's going on in the format before you can answer that question. Yep. Yeah, Blue-White looked okay yesterday. There's been a bunch of people posting things about Grixis decks that they've been working on. Rattlechains gives all my other spirits flash. This is probably a turn where I'm going to go Rattlechains plus Supreme Phantom. Have we gotten 4 Ornithopter into Safari turn 1? I have not. Hopefully they attack with this 1/1 here. They're scared, chat, and they should be. They've got the fear in them. Spirits are spooky. You're not wrong. I think I'm playing this tapped and planning to only Nebelgast Herald this turn, because I think I want to maximize getting triggers out of these to tap down their big thing. This is just easily our best card in these creature matchups. The subs for the Runeterra content. Thanks for the 14 months, Ms. Merrick. Taken yesterday and today off of Runeterra. We'll be back with the Runeterra deck tomorrow. And then we'll definitely go back to daily stuff soon thereafter. Wow, that's really punishing. So, like, this is a card that just, like, wasn't on my radar at all. And if I would have played the untapped land there, the Rattlechains would have been a big deal. So I think I go ahead and do this and diddle their Harpooner here. Get to attack them for 6 in the air. This Nebelgast Herald will double diddle these. You cut Cleave for Demonic Embrace? I don't know about that one. Eliminate. Hey, Grumpy Old Virgin. Thank you for the checking out the raid sponsor. Drop me a DM and let me know what you'd like as a thank you. Did someone cut this in this morning? They did. 10-ton hammer. Are you in love with the cocoa, chat? I'm in love with the cocoa. I would like to tap your board. Don't fail me now, Coco. Don't fail me now. Ooh, don't fail me now. Hey, diddle diddle. The cat and the fiddle. The thing jumped over the moon. Drop me a DM, Grumpy, and I'll dole out the sub gift at the end of the stream. And I did say it was our best card of the matchup, right? And it delivered. That opponent speared up Lovestruck Beast on the board the whole game and never got to attack. Yep. Yep. The order of your picks in your Cocoa determine which enters first. Negative. Nebelgast Herald, OP, please nerf. Yep. Flying is busted. Hey, Toast Fool. Thanks for checking out the raid sponsor. Appreciate it. Drop me a DM and let me know what you'd like as a thank you. This board is so great. I really wish they would sell us game boards on this application. I would definitely give them money. More money? More money. I think this is keepable. It's tough because, like, I'd keep this on 6, but I think I can do better at 7. Like, having all of my colors is appealing. Yeah, this hand's great. Can I interact with any stuff on this board? Doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it has clickable elements, unfortunately. Alright, so any untapped land next turn would be great. All of our lands are untapped at this point, so any land, please. Oh, you know what card might be good for this matchup? There's, what's that white creature they printed that says you can only cast creatures from your hand? Your opponents can only cast creatures from their hand? That stops Citadel, right? Yeah, Drannith Magistrate. Not Containment Priest, Drannith Magistrate. Hey, thanks, Bulgia, for checking out the raid sponsor. Appreciate it. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hand. Yeah, that might be them. That's probably a sideboard card worth playing. Yeah, it's fine against adventures too. Man, peak Twitch chat is someone asking me why I would play something when it's bad for me, when it's actually not bad for me, and then recommending a card that is bad for me. That's like pretty peak Twitch chat right there. Your wife runs a tight ship in Pokemon Go, only been doing it for 2 days, wish I had found it earlier. Yeah, if you're a sub who's into Pokemon Go, my wife is super into it, a number of other subs are as well, and they're definitely coordinating a bunch of remote raids in the subs Discord. So if that tickles your fancy. I'm burning my food here to play this and just start pressuring their life total. Getting their health low is our only chance to beat this Citadel, so I'm just gonna attack them and hope for the best here. Also, if you try Raid and you enjoy Raid as a game after trying the tutorial, there's a bunch of us to talk about that there. Just a bunch of great stuff in the subs Discord, magic and non-magic related. All sorts of things. Nah, not at all. I think it's good that people make recommendations. It's just there's better and worse ways to make recommendations. Magic has a ton going on it, and one of the reasons why Magic is such a great game is because someone like me, who plays it, 30, 40 hours a week some weeks, still has things to learn about it and can have meaningful discussions about what's good or bad and why. I think we're dead. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, they're short. Claim the Firstborn's a very powerful card. I don't know why they didn't attack with their 3-2. So they need 2 more permanents to activate this still. And that'll do it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they activate Citadel, we're dead. You're looking for a raid clan. We have a group of raid clans Rudy has Austin powers, and depends on which clan bosses you're hitting. We have groups downing everything from normal and brutal all the way through Ultra Nightmare. They're all listed in the subs Discord too, BT dubs. We'll make them not click through all the way. I just wanted to make sure they were going to activate the thing. Pretty sure this is a Deputy of Detention matchup. Hanged Executioner doesn't sound particularly good. Attacking their graveyard doesn't really accomplish anything here. Hey, cooldown max. It's 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. We got a Braids, probably 4 of red. I agree. If you are red deck, even aggressive decks want 4. I think every deck that is red probably wants 3 to 4 Braids. Is Browntown good enough for Citadel? Yeah, maybe. Is Kira worth it to stop claims? I don't know. Yeah, that's true, Crappy Lawyer. I time out people that make good suggestions on occasion, too, just because they don't have anything behind them. It's not about whether the suggestion is good or bad, it's about the thought that's put into it. I think I mulligan this. I think we're definitely the beatdown here, and I don't think I can afford to be Bant Gates. Alright, in it to win it. This effect isn't particularly good here. Does this deck want Cleave? Can't confirm. All my suggestions are good. I've been timed out before. You think Coco with Arcbow would work? No, I don't. I think you basically, like, a spell has to be really important to be worth playing it in your Collected Company deck. I also think Arcbow is just incredibly slow in general. It's not a terrible hit. I think we just get Paradise Druid down to start to develop our mana and get on the board faster. white Leyline. So the opponent's archetype, I guess they can't gain life if we have Leyline out. I don't know. That's kind of a head scratcher for me. Are potatoes essential in breakfast burritos? Yeah, I think so. Potatoes are great. Rest in peace, Dot Blood Artist as well. Yeah, but it doesn't stop Mayhem Devil. I don't know. Maybe stopping Blood Artist is good enough. White Leyline's an interesting one. That's not what I thought about. Yeah, that card. I don't think that definitely, like, it doesn't sound strictly bad. I think that could definitely be like a solid maybe. I'm gonna play the Supreme Phantom out as opposed to this because I want to save this to be able to protect something. I think. I'm just gonna attack for 4 here. I'm potentially missing some points of damage by being a little bit conservative with this, but with Woe Strider in play especially, I want to try and play around, claim the first board, I think. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. What's taters? Potatoes, potatoes. That video's like as old as the internet, chat. Is that video old enough to vote? That video's gotta be old enough to vote, right? Shalai. So, Shalai is probably less good because Mayhem Devil can kill her. But I like where your head's at. Okay, so do I flash this in response? I think that's the answer. I think we flashed this in response. They tapped off their red mana. Just want to pump up the jam here before Mayhem Devil can start killing Mastiff. Shalai and Feather. Sure, I can see that working because you can protect her there. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's why context is really important, right? Yeah, I can see that being a reasonable sideboard card for you with protection. Peace was never an option for this goose, chat. Don't even ask. Hushbringer does not stop Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil is not a death trigger. Alright, so this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I hit double Lord, they die. YOLO. Yeah, if Hushbringer worked on this, what's it called, would also work. If Hushbringer worked, Rest in Peace would also work. Hit me, dealer. Feels Magic the Gathering man. Put you to 5. Your move, Yugi boy. Dear opponent, please don't kill me. To be fair, we were asking for a lot, right? Like, I was hoping to hit 2 Lords, but I already had 2 Lords in play. So, we were pretty likely to miss there. I also think, trying to high roll and end the game that turn is also still meaningful. I don't think our play was wrong, but we were definitely trying to high roll. No, they can Citadel regardless, right? This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, I would like to have a conference call with whoever thought Ancient Tomb with Upside was okay to print into this format, but Flame Tongue Kavu didn't make the cut. Can I speak to a manager about this? Like, who thought this was a good idea? Flame Tongue Kavu wasn't allowed, but Phyrexian Tower, ship it. Ship the Phyrexian Tower, ladies and gentlemen. Can Mayhem Devil, Priest, and Blood Artist finagle them to not be dead next turn? Probably. We could die here. I'm not dead yet. Hashtag sometimes lucky. Yeah, Woe Strider plus a Mayhem Devil or Blood Artist there killed us. I don't think this is a Kira matchup. Is Kira better than Borrower? Borrower kind of sucks against Mayhem Devil, huh? Let's put Kira in, see how she feels. Counters claims and Mayhem Devil triggers. Is a bigger body the reason to choose Thrashing Bronze than over Rick Sage? Yeah, I wanted to be able to play defense against Embercleave decks. Is Containment Priest just bad against Devil? Well, Containment Priest also shuts off my collected companies. So Containment Priest is largely in the sideboard to be an anti-Muxus card. Because I think Muxus is better than my companies. No, that creates very swingy gameplay, 10 ton hammer. Muxus is like big angry Coco, right? It's like big goblin Coco. Why Priest over Cage? Because I can Collected Company into Priest. When you're playing Collected Company decks, in general, you prefer answers that are creatures, so your Collected Company can find your answers. No, it does not. Well, Pelly, except they literally printed another card in Jumpstart that they made historic legal that could self-target in a very similar manner. So, like, that doesn't even work out. It's not even, like, a quality of play experience because, like, for new players, because, like, they printed something else that did the same thing. I think I prefer to keep my company hits high. I don't know. Playing some counter spells could be fine though. I mean, like, the obvious answer is, like, I decided I didn't want the misses. Like, that's why I'm not playing them. Opponent has no lands. We have no spells. Screw generally beats Flood, so we'll see how this works out. This is where the magic happens, chat. Okay, I see, you are right. Are you allowed to say that on the internet? I've been around the internet for a while, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Internet lawyer here, that's a clear violation. I'm very old, it was allowed in my time. Fair. I think I'm going to sack the Goose rather than the Paradise Druid here. There's only a small chance they could play something else out this turn, and getting a hit in with the Paradise Druid next turn would be good. Like, they could have Woe Strider here, but that's it. Like, another Priest. And if we attack and trade for a Woe Strider or a Priest, that's a win for us, I think. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. Our deck is only playing 21 lands. We are in fact playing 21 lands. That's not true. We've drawn Shacklegeist, Gilded Goose, and Paradise Druid. We just, like, I don't know if you can count this. Like, we only had 3 meaningful spells this game, and 2 of them got fought seized. Lazotep plating's kind of cheeky. Does that stop Bolas to Citadel? Is it each or is it target? Each opponent loses 10 life. I don't know if that's good enough. This one, please. Can I get a flavor judge ruling on the second claim the firstborn? I feel like that should be out of bounds, right? Because, like, how do I have a firstborn to claim again? I believe someone said you have to upgrade the helm for it to be the raid tutorial be finished. You're good, Toastful, by the way. Your name is in my thing. It says you finished 23 minutes ago. It'll pop up on screen when it's done. You're all good. Appreciate it. 2 mothers, 1 father. Okay. All right. So sure. Got it. It's like fatally pushing a bird off the cliff. Nah, fatal pushing a bird is fine. Because it's the push that kills the bird, not the fall. So you're assuming that the fatal part of the push is the fall. No, it's the actual push that's fatal. Gotta understand. I think this is keepable. Owl Familiar, they're a sub. See what they're doing with their Temple of Plenty deck. Some kind of Appeal to the Dead thing. Makes sense. It's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop. Yep. Our lack of a second blue source here, definitely awkward. Do they not have lands? That'd be great. Brick. Brick. Oh, no. Oh, no. Nailed it. We just smack them for 7 here and try and race. If they have a sweeper, they have to sweep their stuff too. Oh, this just drew 2 cards, so it feels less bad for them. Flying Tempest, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Is a Lord lethal next turn? We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lord is 1 short of lethal, unfortunately. Okay. Doke. Okie doke. This is a Deputy of Detention matchup, right? For sure. It could be possible that we want some counter spells on the board for matchups like this. I don't know, hard to say. It's like I'm on like 35 creatures here post board. So like if we went down to 31, that's like not awful. It's less good, but it's still kind of awful. Winged Words. Yeah, Stroke or Lofty Denial could be worth playing. Spirits has been good when we have a mix of lands and spells so far. Hey, Fiasco, thanks for checking out the read sponsor to complete the tutorial. Appreciate it. Drop me a DM and let me know if you'd like a gifted sub or to pump something in the queue. We've not run into Goblins. Goblins isn't actually super popular because I think the deck's actually kind of mid-league. Goblins is popular in best of one. Sure, I believe that. Text that. Cheese people and our bad against interaction tend to be better in best of one. I'd be very surprised if Spellqueller wasn't in Pioneer Masters. Nah, I think that's fine, 10-10 Hammer. I think, like, if your only interaction is, like, Thoughtseize, Rankle, and some Murderous Riders, it's probably okay. Oh, I forgot about Mausoleum Wanderer. Yeah, playable 1-drop is huge for this archetype. Selfless Spirit would be another big one to offer a lot of counterplay. Rattlechains here in response. I unfortunately am not playing a basic island. Just a touch unfortunate. I mean, most competitive Magic decks are rare-tastic, as you just said. That's definitely a card where having some counterspells would be good. Yeah, we're playing Mana Dorks to double spell Pickle Bolas. We tried Watcher of the Spheres in the straight blue-white list, and it's fine there, but I don't think you have room to play Mana Dorks and Watcher. And having the color fixing is pretty important in our 3-color deck in a format like this where the mana tends to be bad. Chat's on a sub mode for this week, so non-subs can get a chance to access the raid link to get themselves a sub so they can chat when I throw it back on. It's called incentives. Yeah, sponsors. Eh, Magic's fun. Let's throw a couple counterspells on the board. If I want to play counterspells on the board, would I rather play Stroke or Lofty Denial? Probably Stroke. That draws cards, right? Stop it. Hey, good games all. Good luck with the rest of your laddering today. Are we gonna try Magistrate? I don't know. I don't know that I really have room for this. Like maybe am I cutting am I cutting Kira? Like I feel like I'd have to cut Kira, or maybe even Remorseful Clerics isn't good. The graveyard decks that this is good against feel kind of few and far between. No, stop it. Literally, this card is for goblins, chat. This card is for goblins. The goblin matchup is going to be very hard. Let's leave it for now. We're adding counter spells already, and counter spells are fine against the Citadel deck. So. Sand's great. Added Firebrand as a win condition. It doesn't seem particularly useful. Like, the problem with that deck isn't finding Kroxa, it's getting your other pieces together. So I feel like that's adding redundancy to a part of the combo that doesn't need redundancy. Like, the issue is getting to Solemnity, it's not getting Kroxa, because Kroxa you can escape and then sacrifice it to Ghostwriter. That's one of my least favorite responses, by the way, where, like, someone brings up something in a lazy manner, I take the time to engage with it and, like, explain why I think it's not good, and then they're like, whoa, Jeff, it's just a joke, or it was just a meme. So I call that Schrodinger's asshole. How they intended something to be said depends on how the person responding to it took it. So, like, if someone responds badly to the thing you said, you're like, oh, it was just a joke, I wasn't being serious, why are you being serious? Yeah, Donald Trump does it a lot. Our grand orange bigot does that quite frequently. Well, Snipe for food, thanks for 39 months, I appreciate that. Welcome back. Land, please. How was girl today? It was excellent. Felt super reasonable.
I have practiced against many foes, but thoughtfulness before action.
Alright, they're dead to this. Who needs a third land against Grixis, chat? Ain't nobody need a third land against Grixis. Poor Grixis. Poor Grixis. Alright, what are we doing? I want Lofty Denials. I want Glass Spinners. I'm gonna trim Paradise Druid against the control deck. We have a little bit extra time to hit our land drops. What's our other cut here? I know Shacklegeist was like okay there, but in general, maybe this is bad in this matchup. Let's try that. Look, check Yo Larson's Twitter, Jerry Freeman, Yo Larson. He's been working on Grixis since before AHK dropped with OK Success, he's tweeted. Well, if I wanted to split my forest with an island, I would split it with an island. So the reason why I'm playing 2 basic forests is because I would like to try and maximize my ability to play Gilded Goose on the first turn of the game. This deck would love Noble Hierarch. Card's very, very good. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of mail delays coming up. Donald Trump is systematically dismantling the Postal Service in an attempt to suppress people from being able to vote safely during a deadly pandemic. He, his administration, and the GOP that refuse to check him are textbook fascists. Vote out fascists in November, chat. Get registered to vote. Okay, draw. I sell stuff on eBay. In the past 2 months, I've had the most delayed and misdirected packages in 8 years of eBay. Yep. Hushbringer, not better than Containment Priest. Yeah, maybe just Senya. I could see that being potentially reasonable. You can't understand why the GOP is actually trying to get rid of us. Well, if you can't understand it, that's because fascism happens slowly. So that way you don't see it all happen at once. So the reason why it's happening is very clear and obvious. The idea that Biden and Harris don't support many of the policies that we need is FUD. Kamala Harris supports something that's very close to Medicare for all. Both Biden and Kamala Harris have published climate plans that aren't even just not bad, but in many aspects are actively good. Progressives putting their fingers in their ears, or people who claim to be progressives putting their fingers in their ears and pretending like there's something they're not just because they're not Bernie fucking Sanders, are hurting everything the progressive movement claims to stand for. They really need to stop. Fifth Dimension, thanks for checking out the raid sponsor. I appreciate that. Welcome. Listen, I voted for Bernie. There was a Bernie banner on this stream for a long time. I sent Bernie hundreds of dollars. But wake up and smell reality and look at what their policies are before you outright lie about them. Stop spreading FUD. A lot of people on the left think that Russians and other countries that are creating misinformation in the United States only target people on the right. That's not true. They're spreading misinformation about everything. Get informed and read their policy pages. I think we're dead here, right? I'm just not coming back from these two. I got you, Sky. It's not even just about purity tests, Bob. Like, there is a lot about both Kamala and Biden that are, like, actively good. Are they perfect? Are they ideal? Are they the people I would chose for or voted for in the primary? Nope. I agree, Scholar. Thanks for the support, as always. Hey, this hand's great. Flash things and counter spells. Let's do it. Yeah, having some denials in the 75 is probably really good. It's possible we should still be on 4 of these. I like to err on the side of having more hits for Collected Company, but honestly, there should probably... It's very possible I should just have these 3 in the main and like a 4th in the sideboard. Did I forget to attack? Yeah, I forgot to attack because I was ranting. I think I'm just holding this up against a removal spell. Hey, Iron Man, thanks for completing the raid sponsor and playing through the tutorial. Appreciate it. If we lose with them at 1, we can count it as a scoreboard win for the deck. Nailed it. This is the part where they sweep us, right? I think someone said, Alec, it finishes after you upgrade the helmet. It teaches you how to upgrade items, but your name will pop up in the corner. Snoobs, thanks for checking out the sponsor. Appreciate it. Drop me a DM and let me know what you'd like as a thank you for that. The person that asked me to look at a deck list in chat, I don't look at decks while streaming. You are welcome to submit a deck for me to play on stream at some point in the future using the form on my website here. And I'll take a peek at it and email you back later. Correct, Urfunk. There are a lot of progressives that, for lack of a better term, have been acting like perpetual children. That's a great way to put it, Lawyer. People are more interested in being right than doing right. Love that line. This is a fantastic draw. Do I play this to get my 1 extra point of damage in? So I'm attacking them to 10, attacking them to 9. Does that change anything? Not really. Doesn't meaningfully change the clock, so I should just wait. Because, like, if they go, like, Sweeper plus Mystic Dispute my Lofty Denial, I get really, really boned. That's fine. No, this does not pump Brazen Borrower. That's the other one. The 3-drop Lord. Pumps Brazen. This is just Spooky Spirits. Okay, so here's an interesting thought. If I would have played this last turn, they'd be at 2 right now, which means if they swept the board, I could Nebelgast Herald for lethal still. So maybe that was a meaningful reason to have played the Supreme Phantom at sorcery speed the previous turn. Like, worth the risk of Dispute plus Sweeper. This is the part where they sweep and Lofty Denial can't counter it. Okay. Looking good.
Keep an open mind.
Grixis and losing to Tempo decks. Name a more iconic duo. Calling the Biden-Harris ticket the lesser of 2 evils is spreading FUD, and FUD's not tolerated on my channels, so feel free to bugger off. Again, if you are referring to the Biden-Harris ticket as the lesser of 2 evils, I'd encourage you to actually go read the policy pages. I'd encourage you to look at Harris's voting record in the Senate. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Do I want Lofty Denials in the main? I kind of feel like I want Lofty Denials in the main. No, not at all, Marky. It's just exactly that what you said. It's a conspiracy theory, and don't lend credence to it. If 35. What if I did this? And I like cut this Paradise Druid and these borrowers, and I like add a land? How do we feel about that? I kind of want to try that. This is still 30 company hits, and only 4 of them are kind of bad, so we have like 26 good company hits. It could also be that, like, so one of the things you want to do with Collected Company is maximize your 3-mana spells, because, like, that gives you the most oomph out of your companies, potentially. So maybe rather than cutting Brazen Borrower and this being a little bit interactive too, we instead get rid of Spectral Sailor. Because, like, this is a form of card advantage, so, like, I don't really need Sailor's advantage to happen. Hey, Kilpo, thanks for checking out the raid sponsor, finishing the tutorial. I kind of like the idea of this. This gives us, like, 14 3-drops to hit here, too. I think that probably seems okay. This gives me sideboard slots over here, too. So, like, this gives me room to try Drannith, potentially. We want to add that. We can try this out in the sideboard. The old 3-3-3-4-2. How does Containment Priest and Coco interact? If you Coco into Containment Priest, you keep the things you got, but your subsequent companies will be said. That's how it works. I would encourage you to vote Biden in the South. There is a real chance that some of the southern states could end up blue in this election for the first time historically speaking. In the Kansas City Senate race right now, the Democrat on the ticket there is within margin of error of being sent to the Senate, and Kansas hasn't sent a Democrat to the Senate in almost 100 years. The winds of change are coming. We could realistically see Dallas drop in this election too. As long as Texas keeps attracting tech talent, it's going to keep moving more and more towards blue. Turns out when you bring in a bunch of young, educated people into your voter base, they're less likely to vote for Republicans. Weird how that works. Alright, so we've been just, like, thoroughly dismantled here, right? Like, we mulliganed, and then they just, like, shoot us up and spit us out. Yeah, Steamkin living up to its name here. Alright, well, so everybody says, not Double Lord. Alright, so Kira, the Great Glass Spinner, sounds fantastic. This is probably a matchup where I don't really want a bunch of counter spells. I think this is a Deputy of Detention matchup too, just be a little bit interactive. Yeah, I agree, Durhulk. There's foils for a lot of the Amonkhet cards. They actually did a really good job with that. We did not, Bob. They left those out, thankfully. In it to win it. Okay, so the question here is, am I trading Rattlechains for G2 Lava Runner? I think the answer is yes. I feel like with company in hand, I want to trade early and often. I would like the record to reflect I consistently praise Wizards of the Coast when they do things that are good. They just consistently do things that aren't good, so I have to take a dump on them quite often. That's a bad win. Glad I brought in Deputy of Detention. We're gonna try and diddle this during their upkeep here. And then we're gonna hope to hit double Lord on the Collected Company so we can keep our things from dying to this. I mean, I boarded in 4 deputies, like we have 4 answers to it. But yeah, it's definitely not the easiest thing for us to do. Yeah, that matchup feels hard. I don't know if there's really things we can do to improve that. All Texas voters should realize early voting starts earlier than usual. Make sure you do that. Yeah, you should find out if your state allows early voting and when it begins. Leverage that. Leverage it. Turns out playing 30 creatures that die in a bolt is bad against the infinite bolt deck. You're not wrong. Spot on. Oh, that's good to note. It's especially important to early vote in Texas because we aren't allowed to vote by mail. Yup. Is your governor up for election this year? Hopefully. Rough. Not till 2024. Brutal. Just so the positions on this stream are clear, by the way, I don't care what kind of mental gymnastics you've jumped through to arrive at that conclusion. But saying that regardless of X, this is my position and I'm voting for Trump in my channel, that's a ban. I don't care why you support fascism in America, but this is not allowed in my spaces. Thanks. A vote for fascism is a Patlan. Well, I guess this is like one of our better X1s in the face of these. Debo, thanks for checking out the raid sponsor. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Don't chain whirler me. Please, please, for the love of God, don't chain whirler me. You could go out on a limb and say I am anti-fascist. All right, this Lofty Denial is drawing dead pretty quickly here. I think we're just passing for now. I'm gonna company and see if we can fight Nebelgast Herald here. I don't think I want to just play Nebelgast Herald, because I think being resource efficient this turn is important. I actually think this set's been pretty reasonable into the Frozen Sky. So one of the things that you have to like just kind of learn to accept in formats like this is if Historic is going to be a good non-rotating format, there's going to be a huge selection of decks. And like, while I do think that this deck's gonna really struggle against mono red, I don't think we can meaningfully change that. I think overall, like, it seems like it could be something decent. Like, having one bad matchup in a good non-rotating format doesn't make a deck disqualifying. Afternoon Mills. How's the matchup versus Jen? I think it's probably fine. I think it's better since we added counter spells in Drannith. I think you have good tools for that matchup. I want a deck that nobody plays, it beats everything 99% of the time, and never has mana problems. Magic players. Would Magistrate work if they were in Frenzy? Yeah, potentially. I haven't seen Frenzy though, so I'm not gonna board around that card, I don't think. I feel like they're gonna cook my goose if I play it, so I'm just gonna play the untapped land here, and then Lofty Denial their 2-drop. Goose actually kind of great here, because it's just like, sack this game 3. T-chat, cook Goose. Oh, you know what? I boarded out the Diddler, right? I'm pretty sure, so I should wait to do that till end of turn. Although maybe they don't attack now. Nice. Joke's on you, opponent. I wasn't blocking. Got him. Look at that 2-4 goose, chat. It's a very angry goose. It's ready to get justice for its brethren that got cooked. Thick goose beats. Sure, I'm gonna attack you twice in the air. IRL geese are 4/1s. Sounds right. A block over from the house that I live on has a small body of water inside of the houses. There's always a bunch of geese over there, and they are very mean. The geese do not screw around, shit. Always make a point to tell the kids you don't walk past the geese in the grass, you cross the street. Do not. They are big as you, and they will mess you up. I think this is a mulligan. Having all of our colors of mana is appealing, but our mana also deals a lot of damage to us here, which on the draw is especially damning in this matchup. Yeah, this is fine. It's a little bit better because we've got Goose at least. Geese are cobra chickens. I don't think that's a descriptor I've heard before, but it sounds apt. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. One of my cousins got their arm broken as a toddler from a gander smacking them. Gross. It's gonna be a skewer. Light them up. They're on fire. Oh ho 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 do 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 do. Canadians maintain their calm demeanor by distilling our hate and putting it towards geese. Ooh. Alright, let's try one more. See if we can let's get one more non-red matchup in. If we queue into red for a third time in a row, I'm going to concede and try and get a non-red matchup. Like I said, I think the red matchup's bad. There's not a whole lot you can do to fix it. Hey, Dwyer. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for your support. I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. I think the red deck being reasonable is a net positive overall. It's especially weird that, like, and I say this weird in a good way and I'm happy about it, that Ember Cleave has, like, mostly fallen out of favor. Yeah, being a completionist on Magic Arena is incredibly expensive. Like, very, very, very... Like, when people are like, how could you have possibly put $3,000 into Magic Arena? It's like, I need way more jank mythics than most people, based on how this stream works. And, like, at a certain point, like, you just run out of mythic wild cards. I think I'd rather get Shacklegeist down than hold up Lofty Denial on 2. Yeah, but, like, if you're good at draft, you're paying with your time. And believe it or not, even though I could win lots of draft games, it's not profitable for me to spend my time doing that. I am better off spending my time, spending my money on that. What's up, dude? What? Bring it in here and I'll spell it. I think I'd rather play Brazen Borrower here, just get more power into play. Censor, yikes. I'm just passing again here. I mean, if he was well educated at 5, he'd probably be able to spell it himself, right? He at least knows how to get help. Uh-oh. Let me see.
Now I can't move it. Now it's just freeze. Now it's just freeze because it's a huge.
Where's your controller? I think you have to use the Pro Controller still. Lofty Denial, feeling pretty good here so far. We've been taking it kind of slow and steady, but having counterplay against our sweeper seems great. Yep. Yep.
Can you spell some?
What are you trying to spell something at? Enchanted Golden Apple? Where do you type it in at? Pull up the search menu, dude. You gotta use this controller. Don't censor me, Daddy. Don't do it. Have a heart. I don't have any lands. Don't censor me. God bless us, everyone. Alright, so... If I do... I don't think I'm playing around a second sweeper here. I think we're just doing this and then attacking for a bunch. There's a good chance we get Wrathed again next turn. I have 2 creatures to follow up, and we can, like, peel bottoms up. You love to see it, chat. Alright, your move, Yugi boy. This is what we got. Golden Apple?
Enchanted golden apple.
I don't know how to get to that menu, dude.
No, you have to spell it. You have to spell it.
It doesn't let me type. Get to the text box. Your dad's a boomer, Declan. I don't know how to get to the menu. Click in there.
Yeah.
Alright, there you go. Golden Apple.
Enchanted golden apple.
I'm gonna try just Golden Apple and see if that works. I bet there's not a lot of them. There you go. There's a Golden Apple. Don't say I never did nothing for you.
Don't go golden apple. It's called enchanted golden apple.
That's it. That's the Enchanted Golden Apple. And if it's not, you can't read, so you won't know.
It's not.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is. You can go put it back on the TV. It is. It's enchanted.
No, it's not. These ones are enchanted. And I can't figure out how to make them.
Be careful. Don't drop it. Alright, so definitely want Kira here. I think I'm just cutting 2 geese to, like, increase my threat density. Maybe I bring in Cleric too. I just, like, cut all the mana dorks. I think I kind of like that. That's my youngest. Declan is 5. Jacob is 6. And then we have a newborn that is 2 months old today. Sure. It's not too bad yet. My wife has still been off of work. She has very good maternity leave for being an American. So she's still not back to work yet. So she's been doing a lot of the night shifts since I'm working and she's not, but we're going to start splitting the night shifts a little bit once she goes back to work, so I'll be more tired then, I'm sure. Hey, Garrett, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. So I think this turn I want to play Rattlechains at instant speed because I don't really want to play into like an Absorb or a Counterspell. Sick. So this happens, and now I get to do this and protect it. Hey, Johnny2D, thanks for completing the raid tutorial. Drop me a DM to let me know if you'd like a gifted sub or to bump something in the queue. Appreciate you checking out the sponsor. Snuggle Bear, thanks for the 16 months. I've been working. Streaming is much harder than just sitting and playing video games. I also probably do more work off stream than a lot of other people do. I do a lot of prep off stream. There's a reason why I do like very little deck building and have minimal downtime on stream, because of prep work outside of it. Yeah, just playing these out and smacking them. They have another Settle the Wreckage. They have another Settle the Wreckage. Maybe this is wrong against Wrath of God. I don't know. This hits them to 5. This is Rev. Sure. This is pretty bad against Wrath now, because they're at 8. Cancel culture is a lie that entitled conservatives use to justify why there shouldn't be repercussions for their actions. So I'd encourage you not to talk about cancel culture, because it doesn't exist. God forbid crappy people have repercussions for doing crappy things. Alright, so I think we're on the... Honestly, it might have been right to play these while they were tapped out. We're going to get absorbed and feel bad. Maybe they do have nothing. They could also have a sorcery speed sweeper here too. Dream Trawler, sure. Do you have an absorb? You do. So I think we just pass here and hope they don't have another counterspell. And we Brazen Borrower this during their upkeep here. And then it either gets bounced or it gets tapped. And then this way, if I draw a spirit next turn, I can diddle this and attack for 7, assuming they don't have counterspells or removal. So, like, again, we can't beat stuff, so we're just hoping they don't have stuff. Spooky spirit, please. How about a land, chat? Is a land a lot like a spooky spirit? Welcome to Magic the Gathering. Enjoy your stay. Played well, played to our outs, drew a land and died. To the person I just timed out for claiming cancel culture is real, I'd encourage you to show me one person that's actually had their life meaningfully disrupted as a result of doing crappy things. This idea that cancel culture pops up and, like, ruins real people's lives is FUD. It's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I'm gonna play out my sorcery threat first here, so this way hopefully we can use Rattlechains to counter a removal spell on here. Louis C.K. had to play in comedy clubs for lots of money instead of having a TV show for obscene amounts of money. Poor guy. Yeah. It's a tough beat. And for the people that are just listing names and saying names when I ask for an example, that's not a fucking example, you idiots. I asked for actual links. Show me someone that was incredibly successful that is now no longer able to be successful because of cancel culture. That's what I asked for. Show me the receipts. Because there's lots of examples to the contrary of people doing terrible things and having no repercussions happen for it. Also, again, No, I'm banning that one. People that I know, like, and again, cancel culture, what people are talking about and the fear-mongering around cancel culture is people who didn't actually do terrible things, having bad things happen to them as a result of people canceling them unfairly. People who do shitty things deserve to have things bad happen to them. That's not cancel culture. That's people having repercussions for their actions, because God forbid bad things happen to terrible people who deserve it. I can't kill them here, so I'm just hitting them for 6. I'm probably good here. There's no Supreme Verdict in this format yet. I'm into lofty denial, chat. Down with the denial. So, it's cool that you can counter the Wrath of the Threat. To be fair, Bob, if Supreme Verdict was legal, we'd probably have Selfless Spirit too. So, like, this deck is probably still reasonable and still has counterplay, even once there's an uncounterable sweeper in the format. I kind of like where we ended up at. Like I said, I think the red matchup is hard. I think the things you would have to do to this deck to make the red matchup not be hard are not worth doing. I think there's just too many things you'd have to change. As a whole, I think I liked this better than the blue-white spirits that's currently up on my website. So I think I am going to replace the spirits deck list that's on my site with this Bant variation. Yeah, I don't even know that, like, so, like, you could put 4 Drakes in the sideboard, but I don't even know that Drake's good enough to make the red matchup good. Like, I don't think that's a worthwhile change. I don't know that it actually fixes that matchup for you. Like, I think you still just get picked apart and die for the most part. Do you ever feel like you wanted a utility land like Sheffet Dunes? If you look at my mana base, I can't play a land like that. I need all of my colors. I arguably already don't have enough colored sources for everything that I want to be casting here. So. Thanks, Sky, and I really appreciate your generous support. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think this build is sweet. I think it's probably worth playing. I like the addition of Lofty Denial, Collected Company being a source of card advantage, and more importantly, this card's not even just card advantage, it's a card that gives you your best cards more consistently, right? So, like, this archetype only has 2 lords, but when you play Collected Company, it's like you have more than 8 things that pump all your stuff, right? Because you find your 2 things that pump your stuff more consistently, which is fantastic. The person that just asked, you are catching us at the tail end of Bant Spirits, but don't go anywhere just yet. We're doing all magic today, so we can play a lot of different things. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get set up and flipped over for the next one. When we get back in just a couple of minutes, we are going to take a crack at this blue-red wizard / counterburn deck. Be back in just a few. Hey, congrats, Todd. Glad you're enjoying